What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Halo Rants YouTube channel, where today we're going to be giving you a bit of an overview of our thoughts about the latest E3. Obviously, you've had the Halo trailer that they released, and then the multiplayer video documentary. So yeah, let's just get into it.
So after Bonnie and Joe had been talking to us about what they had been planning to do or whatever, we got some panoramic shots of the Halo ring, kind of in a similar sort of area to what we saw in last year's E3 Microsoft presentation thing, whatever that was. Visually, it's looking a lot better than it did then. Like there's fog now. There's a lot better shadows, a lot better lighting. It's a bit less cartoony and just bright and vibrant like it was last year. We're still yet to get anything up close though. Like that shot did look a lot better than what we saw before, but we're still, we haven't had that point blank camera shot of Craig's face or anything yet. So if we see improvements like this up close as well as far away like we have just seen, then this is quite promising for the game, but we're still yet to see anything really up close besides in the cutscenes.
Yeah, I think the only time where we've seen brutes up close, for example, like what you said with Craig, is when we had that Inside Infinite. I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been April, where you had the Guardian from Halo 3 in the background and things like that, where they did look like they had fur. So
Yeah.
they've definitely received more detailing. And going on from that with the detail, do you remember the hexagonal columns in the background? A lot of those seem to be sort of blended in more of the environment now. So their
Yeah.
colors slightly different. They've got pieces of dirt and I won't say decay, but they've been weathered, I guess is the way
Yeah,
to put
no,
it.
there's definitely you can tell when you're looking at it now, you can see the difference between what is like cliff, what is rock, and then what is one of them hexagonal columns, which now look a lot more metallic and a lot more Forerunner-esque. I feel at least
Yeah.
343 Forerunner.
I think the only time where detailing is a little bit off is in the very far distance. We're talking right towards the back end of the Halo ring, but it looks so much better than what it did. It granted, it really didn't look very good to begin with, but
It
everything
looks
what we
acceptable
saw,
now.
yeah, everything what we saw looks good. Like it does look like it's been worked on very well, which is what you want to see.
Moving on from that, we have the new Cortana, which for me personally, just she looks really fucking cool. How they've kind of portrayed her, how she reacts, how her behavior is. I think it's all really fucking cool. It's done really well. I'm really liking how sort of shit it's a new Cortana, and they've kind of given her that naive, youthful kind of personality to her. She isn't just a carbon copy Cortana. She's a Cortana that doesn't, she doesn't understand how Chief works. She doesn't understand that sometimes the orders change and all that, the mission changes, and she's still very much kind of a protocol based AI, and Chief is kind of breaking her out of that, and I quite like the look of that.
Yeah, I think visually, because that whole cutscene was all in game, wasn't it? That little
Yeah,
section that we saw with Chief floating through the air past all the dead Marines and stuff. Yeah, that looks incredible. There's no other way to describe it. Graphically, that looked insane. It looks as if that's sort of led on from, again, last year's E3, where the back of that Pelican was opening, and then you just got Chief stood there and it all goes bright. I don't know if you remember what I'm talking about.
yeah.
But it looks as if that leads on directly from that, which would be cool if it does. And clearly, it's happening early on in the campaign. You've got to presume. But going back to Cortana, yeah, graphically incredible. I like the fact that she actually has a uniform, so it's not just stripes and tits. To be honest, it's not just that. Um, Also, the motion capture on the face, you can see the actual mannerisms she's making. It looked perfect. It really got us excited for the campaign, and it opened up with what they were saying in the actual cutscene. It opened up so many opportunities for theories about what this campaign is going to be about and who's going to be involved,
Oh yeah, that cutscene asked way more questions than it answered. Like
which is exactly what you want.
I answered the question, "Are we getting a new Cortana?" Yes. But now you've got so many other questions like what's happened to the old Cortana, why is this new Cortana still active, and everything else. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's a really cool plot point.
For me personally, it's made me more excited about the storyline of Infinite. Because I was personally worried that it was going to be quite simplistic. They were going to play it quite safe and not really tie into prior events. But it seems as if they are really actually trying to incorporate everything, but not to the point of which you've got the whole cast back in
Yeah.
and all that from Halo 5. So it looks really promising from now anyway.
I think in the earlier sections of that cutscene as well, where Chief was kind of jumping through what that kind of zero G, like inside of a ship or whatever it was.
Yeah.
That once again, that has gotten across this kind of all hope is lost kind of vibe, and then Chief's still trying to persevere. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you're
Well,
jumping around and you're seeing you're seeing, all right, yeah, you got dead jackals and grunts and everything, but you're also seeing all these dead marines, all these marines that have been lost, and it's almost quite sad how it's portrayed, but Chief is still persevering, and you've got him on radio with Brohammer kind of going, I can do this. Like, even though Brohammer's like, you've got nothing left, there's nothing you can do. Chief is still like, no, I'm doing this.
yeah. Also, that shot where he throws the fusion coil and then one shots it with the sidekick, that was just badass. No, that was just cool. So hopefully we'll see more of that within the campaign.
Yeah, moving on from the campaign, we have quite a big focus on multiplayer of everything they've shown so far. And in the gameplay, there was quite a lot of reach armor returning. Really hope Gungan is still in there, obviously for me, but
Yeah, you like a fat Spartan, don't you?
a lot of reach armors do appear to be returning, and it's while I'm happy to see that, I also hope they do have a lot of new designs as well. I don't want this game to just be oh yeah, here's all the reach armors and just one or two new designs, or one or two Halo 4 or 5 designs. I want there to be new armors in this.
I mean, I think there will be. I mean, we've already seen examples of some of them. We've seen the like the samurai one, which, granted, looked a little bit. It wasn't to my liking personally, but I can understand why people think it looks really cool.
I think the samurai one is passable, at least. It's not like these like the Halo 5 ones, which had like 12 different curves on a visor, and a visor that would indent where your nose would be and all that.
Oh no! At the very least, when they've said there's lots of customization, they mean as in there's lots of different helmets. You've not got 16 versions of one helmet. I think we're going to see something very similar to how Reach had it. Like, well, we saw that the next day, didn't we, with the multiplayer reveal? Like, you can change your Spartan on the app and things, and it looks very Reachy, which is great.
Yeah.
That was the best customization they ever done.
Yeah, it's good that they're taking reference from these old games, but they don't seem to be just going to these old games and just copying them. They're just, they're inspired by them, but they're still doing their own thing with them. I do worry though with some of the like more colors and decal vibes, is that there was like camo armor and there was like a bright purple and white visor, and they're okay, but I'm worried this is going to then lead into like some more over the top stuff. Like I'm terrified we're going to now suddenly see like pizza Spartan armor or something stupid like that. I'm worried it's going to spin it off into something like that. Which I understand is like part of people just wanting to express themselves or whatever, but it is very jarring to see some of these really bright, exaggerated, crazy armors right next to someone who has gone full ghillie or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we don't get the levels of what were in Halo 5, where you have people running around as fucking unicorns and shit. But I mean, just the variations of what we've seen is cool so far. Obviously, we can speculate that they probably are going to get a bit more crazy because there's only a certain amount of helmets they can make, essentially. But yeah, I guess it's a slight bit concerning that they could go a little bit over the top with some of the armors. Leading on from that, though, we actually heard something about flighting, or the beta, or whatever you want to call it. Who cares? It's the same thing.
Same thing, different name.
Yeah, it's said to start in late summer, but we still didn't get any dates. Like, we still didn't receive a specific time frame as to when this is going to happen, which it's not really a cause. Go on.
The ones that they had, the ones that they had said will be late summer are apparently closed ones, which basically mean they're not, and it sounds like they're not going to basically be invited many people to these ones, which is fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, you do need to start off with smaller ones before you start inviting the wider community. But I hope it doesn't take long for them to invite the wider community, because as we said, the longer they leave it, the longer we have until we can test this game, the less that can be changed between when we get to play it and when it comes out.
Exactly. I find it bizarre that they are keeping it sort of closed, if that is what they're planning to do, because surely the more people that can get their hands on your game, you're going to identify more issues faster. So I guess it is a bit of a strange choice to do that. But again, it's not really a concern as of yet, really, because they've still said, look, there is going to be a beta. That was a main concern we had before, that there wasn't going to be one at all. But it does seem like they've left it a little bit late.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, once this game comes out, they're going to have plenty of data for what they need to know, because this game's the multiplayer side of this game is free to play, which
is an incredible idea.
And I know free to play is kind of the way games are going at the moment. It's kind of, you're going to get a lot more players trying out your game if it's free rather than if it's £60 or $80 or however much. I think it helps as well, because like new people coming into Halo, they don't have to spend any money on it. That they're going to be more willing to try out a new Halo because it's free.
Well, that's absolutely right. I think that really suits this game as well, because it is viewed as this spiritual reboot. So there's going to be a lot of people that maybe were like pissed off at Halo 5 like ourselves, and maybe did say, fuck it, I'm not playing Halo anymore at all.
Yeah.
Just offering it as a free to play, nobody can lose anything just by trying it.
You're not going to lose anything
on your Xbox or whatever.
You're not going to lose anything from downloading this game and trying it out for a couple of matches. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You can uninstall it. You can get the space back. It's fine. Another
really cool thing, just leading on from that very quickly, what they've said about the season passes.
Oh yeah,
and how they're essentially the ones from MCC, aren't they?
Yeah, obviously the concern with it being free to play is that, okay, well, they're going to have to make money somewhere. Okay, you have to pay ludicrous microtransactions, loot boxes, and stuff like that. But no, yeah, they've said that the battle passes are, first of all, non-expiring, like the ones in Master Chief Collection. So just because a season's ended doesn't mean you now can't complete that battle pass, which is such an incredible thing. I wish more companies just in general would do it. I swear it's only been 343 who's actually been doing it so far.
Yeah, I've never seen it on any other game.
You can also backwards purchase them. So if you want to buy one of the previous season passes, you can. You can also pick which season pass you are currently making progress on. It's all very good. It's all very pro-consumer. You're no longer gonna have that situation where you're sat there and there's only 2 days left of the season, and you've still got 30 tiers of the pass to do. So you're forced to play the game religiously, even if you're not enjoying it, just so you can unlock that final armor in the final tier.
Yeah, there is no fear of missing out, which is fantastic. I don't know if they said whether they were gonna be free or not, like they are on MCC. They might have done, I'll be honest, I'm not sure. But if they are, even if they do make them, I don't know, £6-7, whatever the average game pass sort of thing is nowadays, that's really not a bad investment if they are constantly available.
Yeah.
So you're not going to miss out on your own purchase.
I imagine they'll be like how most battle passes are, in terms of you have the free one and then you'll have the paid one as well. That's how I imagine they'll do it. But they have also said as well, first off, no loot boxes. Learned their lesson.
Yeah, they made that
one.
Abundantly clear.
And also, anything that you can earn, you can only earn it one way. So something that's in the battle pass will only ever be in the battle pass and will not be in a challenge or or a store or anywhere else. It'll only be there, and that's the only way you can unlock it. Which again, it's just nice. You're not getting confused of, what did I do to unlock this? Well, there's only one way I could have unlocked it. So you're not getting bombarded with 20 different ways to unlock the same piece of armor.
I think, other than the world of praise that we've just given on these battle passes, the only thing that was a little bit not upsetting, but sort of I really wanted to see, was just how they actually are. I want to see an example of it. I
Yeah.
know they've explained them incredibly well, but if they could have just shown a little something, that'd have been brilliant. But that's
Yeah. A
my only
lot
real
of
criticism.
what they've been doing with this game, and it is a bit of a criticism of just how they've been showing it. Is it's all been words. It's all been, oh yeah, we are doing this. All right, well, can you show us it? You know, like
Yeah,
can we actually visually see this, or hear this, or whatever kind of thing it is? And a lot of it's just been like, yeah, we are doing this, this, and this, but we're not going to show you. And it's better than them just saying nothing. But yeah, I would like to see a lot of these things that they have said. I would like to see them. I want to actually see the visual side of it. Kind of moving on from the multiplayer video as well, they did also release a Waypoint article that it was mostly just screenshots and kind of just a little bit more information on the multiplayer. But some of these screenshots of the multiplayer maps look really fucking cool. Like I'm actually really excited for the old Mombasa design. Like,
yeah,
we were a bit concerned that we would go into this game and every single multiplayer map would just be on a Halo ring. There wouldn't be any sort of urban environments or anything, but clearly, no, they are still doing urban environments and all that. And there's a variety of settings. We've at the very least seen kind of the standard Halo ring setting. There was some sort of desert map, some sort of UNSC base, and like an old Mombasa looking places. So it's definitely variety there already.
yeah. I think just generally speaking, now the multiplayer, what they have shown, does look incredibly promising. Not only the maps as you've mentioned, but equipment. Equipment seems to have evolved slightly, which isn't a bad thing. It's just going to be something to get used to. Like you actually have to activate overshields yourself as opposed to them just like automatically doing it, which I guess can be. I mean, it can be a pro and a con. It depends on the situation. Another thing I did notice, which I'm not sure if you did or not, Bailey. They've still got the ADSing on automatic weapons. Like there was certain sections of that gameplay where the assault rifle like zoomed in, like I think it was like 1.4 times or something. So it was very minimal. But whether now I'll be honest, that was a big thing I really didn't like in Halo 5 because regardless of that, you still always seem to use the pistol anyway, and it didn't really make any difference. So whether it's actually going to be slightly different than how it's been in Halo 5, it'll be interesting to see. But I did just notice that they've sort of stuck to their guns on that one.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that will help with newcomers as well, though.
Yeah,
Like someone coming into the game isn't going to be used to the concept of only ADSing with certain weapons and other ones just having binoculars, because that's kind of a case by case basis. You need to know whether a weapon has a scope or not. And they're definitely going, especially with the multiplayer, they're definitely going for that sort of easy for newcomers vibe. Like they've got the new training area and the you got the bots modes and all that as well. So that they're definitely focusing on the new player in the multiplayer. I feel, which
yeah.
I'm personally fine with because this game's meant it's got to be a big game. So you kind of need to get as many people on board with it as you can.
Definitely. If they can encourage the community to grow and obviously make it easier to access, then I'm all for it. Just going back to the smart linking aiming though, I think that's what it's called when they can like ADS on the like the AR and stuff.
Yeah.
It does look as if that despite this, hipfire is still just as useful as it's ever been. Like it didn't look like you were at any disadvantage from hip firing from the trailer anyway. But
No.
again, that's something we're gonna have to wait and see when we actually get our hands on the game and we're able to test it. But other than that, just sort of concluding thoughts, I thought it was great. E3 was great. It definitely goosebumps with the Cortana trailer. Definitely got the hype going a little bit for the game. I don't want to get my hopes up fully. I'm not personally fully convinced yet because we haven't got our
No.
hands on it. We can't physically play the thing, but they're ticking a lot of boxes. But you just got to hope that they can actually, do it.
Yeah.
There's no other way of putting it.
Actions speak louder than words, and now we need to see what they've said taken into action. I do have faith that they will. But yeah, and obviously we both hope and pray this game is as incredible as everyone else wants it to be.
Yeah, yeah. We found out the other day that any negative views will not be tolerated, which was quite interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got anything else to add to this, or?
No, yeah, I think that's everything.
Right. Well, same old spiel as always. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Hopefully you like more than you did the last video. Be sure to check us out on Twitch. We'll leave a link in the description, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
I'll see you guys later.